First item on the agenda is a special presentation from Mayor Noni West.
And I understand nobody will be here to receive the proclamation, so I'm just going to read it from here. This is a proclamation in honor of National Epilepsy Awareness Month. National Epilepsy Awareness Month during November is an annual opportunity to learn more about epilepsy's causes and symptoms. 1 in 26 people will be diagnosed with epilepsy at some point in their lifetime. It is one of the least understood of all neurological diseases, but yet it is the fourth most common. It affects people in our community in profound ways. This proclamation is done in memory of Jacob Schatz, who was a member of the Doylestown community and lost his 19-year battle with epilepsy and uncontrolled seizures on November 14th, 2017. Whereas an increased understanding of epilepsy will lead to both empathy and action, whereas a knowledge of first aid for seizure victims is an essential part of epilepsy management, whereas it is our desire to celebrate Jacob Schultz's life and fight epilepsy in our community as we build a healthier, more knowledgeable, and stronger community. Now, therefore, we support the National Epilepsy Awareness Initiative and efforts to spread awareness throughout November and all year long. In witness whereof, I set my hand and seal this 17th day of October 17, 2022. That's the end of the proclamation.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Next item on the agenda is the approval of minutes from the September 19th, 2022 council meeting. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So move.
Second.
I have a motion and second. Any questions or comments from anybody on council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from anybody in the audience? Hearing none. I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And Madam Mayor, you're up again.
I have no report this evening.
Thank you. Public safety, Mr. Frederick.
Yes, Mr. President, I have 3 items. Consideration of ordinance number 2022-8, creating a handicap parking space at 63 West Ashland Street. Attached, please find ordinance number 2022-8, which creates a handicap parking spot at 63 West Ashland Street. Pursuant to a request by a resident and with the support of neighbors, this ordinance was properly advertised pursuant to council authorization to do so, given at its September 19th, 2022 meeting. The Public Safety Committee did not have a quorum at its October 6th, 2022 meeting, but the members present are recommending that council adopt ordinance number 2022-8. If council wishes to follow the recommendation, it can do so by motion, and I so moved. Second.
We have a motion and second. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, my second one is authorization to advertise ordinance creating no parking zone on East Street at Linden Avenue. Attached, please find the above referenced ordinance creating a no parking zone on the east side of East Street, north of Linden Avenue. The ordinance is in response to parked vehicles creating a traffic bottleneck for school buses and other vehicles accessing Linden Elementary. A copy of a complaint and photographs of the area are attached. Linden Elementary School is supportive of the ordinance. The Public Safety Committee did not have a quorum, but the members present are requesting the advertisement of the ordinance. If council wishes to authorize advertisement, it can do both so by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of council?
I have one question. The distance of that, how far will that be on East Street from Linden to?
It will take it from the north curb of Linden Avenue to the first residential driveway.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments from council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
My third and final here, request for open alcohol containers at public event for the St. Paul's Lutheran Church Fall Fest. Attached, please find a special events permit application for the St. Paul's Lutheran Church Fall Fest. which includes the closure and the use of Spruce Street between North Main and North Streets. The application, which has otherwise been approved by the Central Bucks Regional Police Department, includes a request to have open alcohol containers on Spruce Street. Council recently adopted amendment to its open container ordinance, does allow open containers on public street as part of a public event, but only with the express approval of Borough Council. The Public Safety Committee did not have a quorum, but the members present are recommending approval of the request. If council wishes to follow the recommendation, it can do so by motion, and I so move.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and second. Any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
And my final item is the Doylestown Fire Company number 1 report. You have that in your packet, and that is the end of my report, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Frederick. Public Works and Administration, Mr. Brown, what do you have for us tonight?
Thank you, Mr. President. We did not meet this past month, but I will pass it over to Mr. Ellinger for the Public Works report.
I'll be brief. Our annual leaf collection program has begun in Section 1 this week. We'll continue through both our 5 sections, our service districts in the borough, twice, ending a little before Christmas. Otherwise, the department's been working on some road repairs, doing some patching before we lose it. We're doing road painting and just trying to rush to beat the winter coming on. So that is my report.
Very good, thank you. I saw the tree guys out this morning as well.
And that's right, I forgot. We do so much, I can't report on it all. Tree program, as you all know, and I'm trying to get that boom truck, that wonderful bucket truck out as often as possible to try to get some tree work done. So
Yeah, they were on State Street this morning.
that's right. There's a detail out. Yep.
That's all I have, Mr. President, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Mr. Bell, Community and Government Affairs, do you have anything for us tonight?
We did not meet this month, and I have no report, Mr. President.
Okay, thank you. Zoning and Planning, Mr. Brennan.
Yes, we have a few matters. First on the agenda is the zoning hearing board report, and I'll defer.
Thank you, Mr. Brennan. The zoning hearing board will meet this Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. There are 2 applications on the agenda. The first is for 19 West Court Street. The applicant is requesting a special exception and variance for off-site parking. The second application is for 50 North Main Street to allow a restaurant in the office zoning district.
And no action was taken on our part on those. Next on the agenda is Historic and Architectural Review Board recommendations. At its regular monthly meeting, the Borough of Doylestown Historical and Architectural Review Board recommended the following. There was 1 sign application, 46 East State Street. There were 4 building applications, 289, 291 West Court Street, which was windows, 180 Green Street, which was a roof, 227 West Court, which was a garage, and 110 South West Street, which was a demolition. The Zoning and Planning Committee recommended that council approve the applications in accordance with Harb's recommendation. If council wishes to follow the committee's recommendation, it can do so by motion, and I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of council?
I have one question. The 110 South West Street, the demolition, do you have any idea when that will begin? Did they give you a
No.
frame, no time frame?
We have not gotten an application or anything like
Okay,
that demo yet.
all right.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
All right, and then finally, we do have our code enforcement report and building inspector report, which are in your packet for review. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Brennan. Environment and Rec, Ms. Margolis.
Yes, Mr. President, we did not meet this month, but I would like to report that the Environment Advisory Committee had a very well-attended hearing, a public meeting about the plastic bag ban, and tomorrow night they will be reconsidering the ordinance, and I hope to have a new ordinance to consider at the next Environment and Recreation Committee meeting and then move it to council. And that's my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Margolis. Ms. Jarrett, water utility, anything for us?
Water did not meet this month, therefore I have no actionable items, and that concludes my report.
Thank you. Ms. Popkin isn't here tonight. Finance pension, somebody, Caroline, are you going to do the finance report?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Everyone was provided the bills list that had prepaid bills, accounts payable, and payroll. Total for all funds is $1,078,448.91.
And I would make a motion to approve that finance report.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Do we have any questions or comments from any members of council? Hearing none. Any questions or comments from any members of the public? Hearing none, I'd like to call a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I do not have anything for the Personnel Committee report. Professionals report, Mr. Doherty. Thank you. I have nothing. And Solicitors report.
Thank you. I have no report either.
Okay, Central Bucks Regional Police Department, Chief.
Nothing to report, Mr.
Thank you. I do not have a President's report. Do we have any items of old business? I don't believe so. Any items of new business? Open public comment. Anybody have something? Yes, if you could come up to the microphone, please, and state your name and where you reside.
Good evening, Judith Stratton, East Ashland Street, and Diana Resick, 286 West Oakland. We're here on behalf of the Community Garden number 1 at the bottom of Church Street. We have been negligent in thanking you for all you have been doing for us for the past 30 years. It's been that long since we initiated the Community Garden. But we have found that we have a serious problem with varmints, to put it quite bluntly. I'm not talking cute little rabbits, you know, Peter Cottontail. I'm talking Texas-sized groundhogs. And they have been getting into the gardens. We have perimeter fencing, and we have some of the lots that each gardener has that has fencing, and they climb up it and over it. And our problem mainly concerns the back property line with the county, where they have their little water retention basin. We need some help in getting some sort of fencing or some type of implement that will keep them from digging under and coming into the property line. We'll work out what we can around the outside perimeter, but we really do need some help, some assistance. We're also not afraid to get our hands dirty.
Mm-hmm. Have you seen the groundhogs climb the fence?
Yep, I was in the garden last week, and you know, at this point, I was cleaning out my garden. Most of the vegetables are gone. Middle of the day, and I sort of couldn't believe my eyes. I saw this big brown furry thing just climbing up the side of a very well-built garden that one of the gardeners had done, and then just going headfirst down into the garden.
How tall would you say that fence is? Like, how tall do you think it would need to be?
Well, I mean, we do have deer that come in the garden also.
Okay.
But
We can dig under it.
that particular
Your way.
fence was, you know, probably this high. And I would say that the gardeners have spent a lot of their own money building, like this is the worst year we've ever had. You know, the gardeners have built, pretty much everybody has paid to build a fence, and then they eat through that fence, and then they put up another fence. So we've really tried our best, but they're clearly coming in from the outside. And, you know, as Judy said, we're willing to help, but, you know, we need some advice and some help. Because, you know, it's very discouraging, and we have new people join the garden, younger people join the garden, and, you know, after everything gets eaten a couple times, people get discouraged, and then they, you know, want to drop out. And the garden is really, I mean, speaking for myself, you know, there's nothing healthier than doing physical labor outside. And this is one of the places in the borough where we can do that, so.
Sitting here thinking of every cartoon I ever watched.
Well, it's
Feel
no
like I'm
joke.
about to be Jerry Tom the cat and Elmer Fudd.
I mean,
and
we've
the
tried to trap
Coyote.
them, but
Man.
it's never been like this. Wouldn't you say, Judy? This has just been the worst.
This is the worst it's ever been. You can't, you look at a tomato one day and it's perfect, and you know you can pick it tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's too late.
Well, the squirrels will do that too. I mean, there's lots of things that'll do that.
Right,
Right.
but they're really not squirrels all that much. We have a fox den that has just come into the neighborhood, and the squirrels have all of a sudden disappeared. But the groundhogs, when they're this big, they don't care.
Do you think it's a quantity of groundhogs issue or a quality of groundhogs issue?
Exceptionally skilled groundhog.
Yeah.
I mean, there's rabbits running through the garden too. They have no shame at this point.
Those
You know,
foxes
we
aren't
see
doing a good job.
Yeah, they turn and look at you and say, hi.
Yeah, yeah.
They keep on eating.
Public
But-
Works could take a look at it. I'm afraid it might end up like Caddyshack at the.
Well, but it's never been quite like this.
Okay.
I could take,
We could,
No explosives.
we have smart and people with lots of ingenuity in our Public Works Department.
no problem.
We will see what we can come up with.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Within the law.
So no groundhogs will be harmed in the making of this solution.
You might hurt their feelings, but
We would appreciate any assistance that, maybe we need an engineer to get in there and figure things out. I don't know.
Right behind you there.
No,
But
don't
it's-
hire an engineer.
We have a couple
No.
who are in our garden community, so I know what you're talking about. They don't seem to be any help.
There's a couple of us up at the dais.
Attorney involved either.
For what you asked.
Can you film that next time you see it climbing? Because that surprises me that a groundhog would do that.
It surprised me also.
Yeah, that really is surprising. And it wasn't a raccoon for sure. It was.
I don't think so. If it was the middle of the day.
Yeah, but sometimes they're out when they're hungry.
If we get this on film, we might have a mascot. That
Yeah.
might be a problem.
I mean, whatever it was big, and it, it was going after the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's a whole different situation. The raccoon.
We have 3 foxes over near us, so if we could move them over there,
Well, there you go.
that should help your problem out.
2 of them were in my backyard the other night.
I think that's
So,
All right, we will try
Thank
to
you.
think of something.
Thanks for bringing it up.
Because you can
Thank you very
barricade groundhogs. You can't
All
barricade.
right, thank you.
well,
We don't have an executive session.
We do not.
We do not have an
Unless you
executive.
want to get the lawyers involved with the groundhog.
We can sue them for trespass.
We'll need a memo on that.
And we don't want to name any groundhogs in public.
get them involved.
I would
If we sue
entertain
the
a motion
groundhogs,
to
they'll go
adjourn.
away.
So move. Oh, somebody said
Second.
something.
Second.
We have a motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you all.
Could have been a record. Yeah. Could have been.